Shalom, Rastafari Essenes, welcome friends, guests, and visitors. So, for the very best standard practices and procedures, we shall in fact become clearly cognizant of our actual real-time position within the cycles of life at this very moment. So, it's 7:49 p.m. on Thursday, the 12th of September, 2024. It's a C period. And the short lunar cycle must be negative right now. And it's a 3.5 negative long lunar unit till I think Saturday afternoon. Okay, then we're in the first annual life cycle period here, and in the sixth simple period of overall human life from age 35 to 42, being 36 years of age. Okay, so that information has to do with operating in harmony, hopefully, with the cycles of life. This information stems from a book called Self-Mastery and Fate with the Cycles of Life by H. Spencer Lewis. Okay, now the reason I started to make this vlog was because, you see, let's say over the time through, over the time period of a couple days when there's questions that you have, how to master your life, how to achieve your divinely inspired objectives, and how to really fix everything and really master and accomplish the highest good and so on. At a certain point, because life is cyclical, after a few days of wondering, or let's say sort of thinking about different things and seeking to find a successful working method of improvement for whatever it may be, whether business, personal, or health life, in order to accomplish any good objective, really, there's a time when the questions that you have and that what you are really seeking to figure out, be it career choices, anything really that's legit in life, and how to accomplish it and prosper, right? Righteously, of course, hopefully. There's a time when this will be answered. There's a time when whatever you were looking for, now it'll become clear to you. And this happens to be exactly right now, namely in one of the daily periods of the cycles of life that is a C period, when you have a very clear vision and the ability to really see through everything that's going on in your life and to see and know and perceive how to improve, and also just how everything works and how to make certain things work. In other words, there's a time when it's very, very automatic that so-called solutions to any existing problems become readily apparent to you, and how to fix everything and how to work everything out. And it's just because of the fact that life is cyclical, and there's a time when you're thinking and planning and seeking to, figure out how to, let's say, get employment, a home, health, wealth increase, and so on. And really, at a certain time, then you'll know and you'll see. And it's that all your actions, everything, should be more guided by wisdom. Because if you map out the cycles of life, right, the daily periods, the tides, right, the short lunar cycles, the long lunar cycles of 3.5 days, alternating between negative and positive. If you have a map, right, let's say till the next full moon of all the lunar units, you know when things are in a positive state or a negative state, and you know when and how what can be accomplished, and that goes for anything. So there's certainly a time when what you are seeking, whatever it is, even just how to work it out and improve your life situation, let's say, it will become clearly revealed to you automatically from the cosmic mind, from divine inspiration, from source within, from God within, from a cosmic impulse. Like I just had this happen where I've been thinking about some things, as all of us as human beings probably do, having to do with health, wealth, increase, career choices, and how to actually really fulfill and to really accomplish the highest good and that what is our divine calling. And so the time when everything will become clear to you and you'll know exactly how to operate, it's usually in a C period, because that daily period that is of 3 hours and 25 minutes is a period wherein, for example, it's very good for planning, and it is a time for the realization of great spiritual truths, and also a time when you can really see and actually clearly comprehend and savvy and have insight and clear vision of and into anything. So anything that's on your mind that you're wondering about, that you have any sort of questions, or you're investigating something, trying to figure something out, it will become absolutely clear to you in this time. And this has happened before. There have been moments in my life where I was investigating something, and then it became clear to me that, that is what is going on. And sometimes it can be different than you expected, where, for example, there have been instances where I've been pondering over something, trying to identify the truth pertaining to something that was presented, or something, maybe even just a YouTube video I saw and the information that was put forward in it, to see, is that true? Are they telling the truth? Who's correct? Who's wrong? What is really going on? Yeah? You can know that. You can see and know that very clearly at a certain point, and it might be something that is manageable, yet at first glance, the truth can be almost different from what is artificially comfortable. Whereas with wisdom, we're always safe in order to master anything. What I'm saying is that sometimes the truth will be revealed to you pertaining to something, and it might be a little bit sort of so that you'll have to look at it and honestly accept the reality of what you've recognized is really going on, or what is true pertaining to this or that, whatever thing it is, whatever question you have, whatever. And of course, with wisdom, there's always a way to make it all work. very good. Now, the other thing is that we must have the ability to really live and fulfill our highest divine potential and calling. And having a certain amount of wisdom, we're actually able to accomplish much more and even greater and better things than we had imagined possible, especially beyond the so-called parameters or format of the so-called material world, with money as a resource and these sort of day-to-day existential thoughts that we have. In other words, with wisdom, we can actually accomplish very good and great works, and even greater works and things specifically pertaining to our divine calling. And we should be cognizant of the fact that we really have much more operational capability, and the ability to master our lives, and fulfill our highest potential, really, than we may be cognizant of during the mundane sort of day-to-day. So there's moments when you realize that we have a great amount of power through wisdom to accomplish much more than the average sort of mundane day-to-day things. You know, there's higher divine inspiration and vision that we have. There are things that I would like to accomplish that, you know, they usually say it hinges on money or diplomas or having this education and so on and so forth. It really, the primary tool to even possibly perfect the universe, to even complete the tikkun olam, the repair of the breach, the repair of the world, so-called, to achieve whatever is the highest divine calling that we have, is actually, with God's help, through wisdom. With wisdom. Because, see, truly great things can be performed simply through the providence of the universal source, and accompanied by and working with wisdom. So there are some things that I'm thinking about where the average opinion would be, oh, you would have to have a higher form of education for this, certain amount of money, and so on and so forth. Yet actually, wisdom is the tool to accomplish anything, because it's how the universe works, and knowing how the universe works includes and gives you the ability to really actually make anything, preferably that what is divinely commanded, and any good thing work. And that really covers a lot of opportunities. So the smartest course of action would be to navigate and to operate in harmony with the cycles of life, making wisdom be your guide, and, as I mentioned, mapping out the cycles of life so that you know, basically like having a map of how the universe works and what state it is in mostly either negative or positive, and knowing what effect the state that the universe is in, either negative or positive, etc., has knowing what that state is in, and thus knowing what the effect is on earth and human and life activity. That gives you the possibility to accomplish truly great things that go far beyond the regular worldly parameters of having this much money or this diploma or this type of worldly asset or whatever. See, if you're working with wisdom, you can accomplish truly great things because it's as if you know how everything is operating so you can cooperate with it. It's like having, if life was like a, okay, everything is in operation in life according to a certain perfect system that was put in place by the Creator in the beginning. In the beginning, God geometrized. Having a knowledge of this system and being able to work with it to your advantage gives you the ultimate tactical advantage in all areas of life, in earth and human activity. It's actually that simple. The way that it actually begins is by simply having some kind of a notebook or some type of a journal or some kind of a booklet where you write and you map the cycles of life that you are in. And almost like a navigator on a ship who knows what the weather is going to be like and what everything is going to be like up to a certain point, he or she can make certain moves at certain times with definite security and accomplish his or her objectives repeatedly, right? It's actually that, it's like that. So if you know what state the universe is in at what time, then you can accomplish almost automatically accomplish certain things where it's like everything is for you. And the opposite of that, it would be laboring in vain. Almost like trying to sail on the sea against the tides, or against the currents. Rather, the way would be smooth sailing, operating in harmony with the cycles of life, walking, operating, living wisely. So, everything that can happen, everything that a human being could possibly ever accomplish is simply possible at certain times based on the cycles of life and how life is cyclical, and within these different cycles, different things are possible and are supported and can be accomplished, and vice versa.